Alright, so today I'm taking another look at the Boss SY-200 synthesizer, and today we're going to go through some of the string settings and the variations of those. Looks like there's about 14 of these, so I'll have a little bit more time on them, but still might try to just get through them. This is my clean tone. I'm still using the Telecaster, just trying to keep it consistent, and running direct into my DI Plus, and then this is in the effects loop of that. So DI Plus is just giving me a little bit of a signal boost. Speaking of, there we go. Alright, so that's the clean tone. Variation number 1 on the strings is going to sound like. Put the dry signal on that. Pull the effect back to about 50. And these are kind of dynamic, like if you hit hard, then they are going to respond like that, but there's no like control of any kind of motion of it. You can control the tone with this. You probably don't want it all the way up or all the way down, maybe somewhere just kind of in the middle. If I turn that, then it sets it just back to 50. Let's turn the resonance down some. I don't feel like that's making a huge difference. What about the depth? The depth is making a little bit more of a difference, but I don't know it's something worth assigning the expression pedal to. Let's go ahead and check out the next one, variation number 2. I feel like this, the strings handle chords pretty well. Very low latency. Let me give it a little bit more direct signal. I feel like a lot of these settings sound probably best when they do have some dry signal, and then the strings aren't providing like the main sound. Maybe they're backed off a little bit, kind of like this. More direct. It's kind of nice to have that kind of pulse in the background. But it would be nice if I could, control the speed up there. I did try assigning the tempo to the expression, and it really wasn't changing the kind of the maybe vibrato sound, which, that's something that is a big advantage to being a string player, is that you can control that vibrato speed along with the dynamics and stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 3. Set it back to the affected volume at 50 and kill the direct. Just keeping it kind of simple. You can do chords, or you can do scales. It feels like they do kind of have, like this one especially, has to kind of build up to the notes. Let's run through the tone. Probably just want to like find the sweet spot in there. I don't know, it's something you want to treat like a wah-wah pedal or something. You just kind of dial it in with your foot. And the resonance. I feel like the resonance is kind of affecting the speed of the first note kind of coming in, and then the depth. That was all the way up, this is all the way down. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's just move on. Next variation, number 4. None of these that I've tried are really, like, gonna make you actually sound like a string player. I don't know if the guitars with the MIDI pickup kind of built into it are really gonna be that much better. The strings are a hard instrument to play. The non-fretted ones like violins, cellos, violas, and stuff. It's got a nice low tone to it. That's how the high notes kind of build into it there. Mess with the resonance. Resonance up. Resonance down. Depth going up. Let's see, variation number 5. It's kind of nice, kind of pulled back. Resonance definitely doesn't do much when the tone is this low. It does a little bit more when it's up. And the depth. There we go. Cool. Alright, let's go on to variation number 6. I feel like that one actually made a bit more difference. Resonance down. Back to the middle. Depth up. Depth down. Let's depth all the way down. There we go. Cool. Alright, let's move on. String number 7 variation. It definitely sounds like a synth, for sure. No one is going to hear this and think, wow, that's a real string player. That's a real violin and cello. I mean, it kind of sounds like a string section I would expect to hear on like an 80s keyboard style thing, which not bad, but if you're trying to do like a classical piece, you know, on it, it's not going to be that great. That's it. That's not fooling anybody. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the next one, string number 8. Kind of cool how it builds into this one. And it doesn't get like out of control. You can hit it hard and it gets a little bit more dynamic. The sound wave kind of gets a little bigger there. Let's go ahead and mess with the resonance. Depth. Pull that depth out. Back to the middle. Okay. Alright, let's see. Strings number 9. Cool. Resonance up. Okay. I like that made a bit of a difference. Some of them, it makes more of a difference than the other ones. The depth. There we go. And you know, it's worth noting too that I think some of these settings might sound a little bit better if I was actually using the presets, because they are a little bit more dialed in rather than just like the same parameters going from sound to sound. But you know, they're kind of mixed around, and I'll explore them a little bit. This one might be my favorite so far. I just wish that I could control the speed of that sweep with the tempo, but I tried it and it did not seem that you could. Resonance up, resonance down, depth up, depth down. Yeah, not a huge change between that stuff, but this might be my favorite one so far. That was variation number 10, so now we're on to 11. We have a few left. This one's definitely a lot louder, and I'm just picking very lightly. If I pick hard, it does kind of build up, but it still takes a little time for it to get there. It almost kind of has like a weird space, it's a harpsichord instrument. Mess with some of this, the resonance. All the way down, let's go all the way up. Depth. Depth all the way down. Back there to the middle. Variation number 12. Okay, it's kind of a little bit more video game like. Definitely got that lo-fi, this kind of glitched out sound. But it handles chords pretty well. Let's see if it can do a setup. Mess with the knobs, resonance. I feel like that was pretty effective. And then up, also pretty effective. Let's go to the depths. That's cool when it gets low. Right there at 30% on the depth. It's that kind of weird sound. 40. Back to 50, but 20 sounded pretty unique. 10, no, 19. There we go, there's 10. Grab and hold that note. Now obviously, if I don't have the dry signal coming in with this, it's not going to change. But you see, I can still morph that note a little bit with the tone while it's held there. Let's change the note to an F sharp. There we go, just grab that. Go back to a low E, so I hit the note first. Disengage, and then catch it again. If I wanted to solo over it, I could bring this up. Now, it's just the note E, so I could solo in E major or E minor, so I could go, for major. For E minor. So both of them kind of work if you're just droning over that one note there. Let's go ahead. I think we have one or two more left. Put the depth back. So that's a pretty useful one. I feel like it's kind of interesting, but it's got a lot of variation in the resonance and the depths there. So number 13, that was number 12. I think I like 12 and 10 probably the best so far. A very unrealistic sound to it there, but it's still cool, and I'm sure it could be usable. Get that direct signal out of there. This is probably one that would sound really good, like maybe just filling out. Maybe even a distorted guitar. Let's try this. I put the affected volume at about 25% and the direct at about 50. So do this with this clean guitar. Let's switch the pickups. There we go. Resonance. up and then down, and the depth all the way up, all the way down, back to the middle. There we go. And I think this is the last one. Yeah, string variation number 14. Get that direct signal out of there. I need to put the effective signal back up. So this is a pretty loud one. I don't know if it's really responsive enough to get that or like some real quick pick attack stuff. Yeah, I don't know about the tremolo thing. It'd be cool if it was. Well, maybe if you just strum a little bit slower instead of going like. Just go. You do kind of have to adjust how you would play things a little bit with this one. So far, I've done the lead sounds and the pad sounds, and now the strings. And you know, the strings are useful, and I could see uses for them, but I really wasn't feeling them quite as much. There was only 14 variations, and as similar as they were, I don't feel like we were shorted anything by not getting 20 or 30 of them. I think that the 14 they have are just fine. And again, you know, you have to consider that these settings were pretty much the same across the board, you know, starting at 50% with each of them and then kind of messing around with them. But there's probably some presets, you know, within this thing that would have that. Again, you have 171 different sounds and variations, but only 128 different memory slots. So you're not going to have one for everything, and they are kind of tweaked out a little bit. So, yeah, let's go ahead and call this one for today. I feel like I got enough time with each of those sounds. I didn't feel too rushed or anything. So I guess the next one that I'll do will be the bell sounds. And that's what I normally have set for the oubliette there, is a little bit different. So I've been changing off of it and just keeping this preset the same for each of these. And once I get to some of these that actually do use the tempo controls a little bit more, which I wish was more of a feature within the strings, then I'll get out like a double tap thing and be able to use that. Good news, I was kind of scared the other day that I had messed up my MIDI baby, but I was able to get this thing fixed, reloaded up with my old settings, and was able to get the editor working again. And I'll probably have to do a walkthrough on that, since I'd just been a while since I'd used the editor and kind of forgot about it there. But yeah, let's go ahead and call it for today, and thank you guys very much, and I will see you again soon.